Hey y'all, welcome back to Till Death Do Us Part, episode 4. I'm not filling in for for David and Tanika, but they will be coming in. They're trying to get their lives together, but we're gonna start right soon. My name is Barbara Tolbert. I go by B, and I'm gonna be their guest. Thank you guys for having me too, by the way.
Hello guys. Hey everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining in today. We want to thank our guest host, Ms. Barbara Tolbert, for coming in today, joining us on our live show, Till Death Do Us Part. We have a very, very exciting show for you all this evening. We're hoping that you can go in right now and go ahead and start sharing this video, because this is the one that you will not want to miss.
Hello everyone. I'm not sure if you guys can see me. This is the first time we had 3 people in. I want to thank our guest host today, Miss Barbara, for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the title of the show is Single and Happy. So I had to bring somebody else in that could probably identify better with the topic. So this is, what we decided to do. I think it's going to be a good show. I can only say, I can only say so much about being single, being that I've been married for 14 years now. However, before I got married, I have learned and became content with being single. So we are going to open up as usual with prayer, and then we'll get right into the topic. But let me turn this fan on real quick because I'm getting hot. Hold on. I wasn't sure if they could hear us over the fan. All right, wait, before we go on, can you guys hear us okay? Can everybody hear us okay and see us okay? Let us know. While we wait on that, I believe y'all can, because y'all my production. Y'all let us know when something is not going right. And so far, we don't have no complaints, so I'm thinking everybody must be hearing us okay. So we're going to open up. Okay, great. Thanks, Lori. We're going to open up and pray. God, we thank you for allowing us to be here for another episode of Till Death Do Us Part. We ask that you continue to give us knowledge and wisdom as we speak on various topics. We ask that it be received in love as we give it in love. We ask that your spirit would take over the airwaves and that it would arrest anything that the enemy or the devil or any type of wicked forces may try to use to manipulate what we say. We ask that everything be done through love and peace. In Jesus' name we pray and we ask, amen.
Amen.
All right, we're going to wait on a few more viewers before we go into it.
Hey,
y'all hit the share button. Hit the share button. Share.
Hey, Santana. Hey, Shauna. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, Shauna, and congratulations. I tried to FaceTime you last night. I know it was kind of late, so that's probably why you ain't pick up, I hope. But anyways, I'm going to call you later.
Hopefully everybody had a really good weekend this past weekend. We
went down to Florida, man. We had our convocation down there this weekend, and oh my goodness. Woo. That's all I can say. If y'all better be at the temple this Sunday, because it's going up. Meet me at the temple this Sunday, 2 Street, Somerton, South Carolina. It is going up. Smoke filled the temple. Okay, we waiting on, this computer kind of slow, so I'm sure we already probably at the number. So we're just going to start the show. The topic is single and happy. And the reason why we decided to come up with this topic is because a lot of people think that, when we're on the show that we just majority deal with relationships and that's it, and we do, but it's not just romantic relationships that we talk about. We talk about relationships with your community, relationship with your kids, relationships with work, relationships with your pastor, relationship, just as a whole. But we never really talked about relationship with yourself. And that's why, I wanted to pose the topic of single and happy. And if you are single, are you happy? And then I threw in there also, because I heard a lot of people say this, that married is the new single. And I guess they say that because a lot of people out there are married and still living life as if they're single. And then it was single is the new married. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are actually married to the fact of being by themselves or having options or being a free spirit, if you will. So I just kind of wanted to break the ice and discuss, if you are single, are you happy? Truly happy, and let's be real about it. You know what I mean? Because if you're single and you're not happy about it, there's nothing wrong with that either. So yeah, we just want to talk about it. So that's just pretty much what my overall view of this topic is. So I'm gonna give my co-host Tanika a chance to explain what do you think single and happy means. Or we're just gonna pass it on down like a joint.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, before I answer the question, I just want to say hi to Carlette and hey Mom, thank you for joining. I know you're tired, you just got home off the road, so thank you so much for joining in. But the topic, single and happy, the first thing I thought about when this topic came to mind was, can a person be content with just being by themselves or being with themselves, being by themselves? And I was single at one point, of course. I don't think that I've gotten to a place where I was single and happy. Like I always felt like I needed that nurturer or I needed that protection or needed someone, a male there with me. And I don't know if it's due to things I went through as a child or whatever the circumstances are, but I've never gotten content with being just single. That was just that's just my truth about that. So I don't really know what it's like to be single. I can imagine, just being with yourself and being true to yourself and just being happy with who you are first, so that you can be that person that someone else is looking for.
Right. Pass it on down, Barbara.
How you feel about being single and happy?
Because you are single, right?
I am single.
Okay, all right. Are you happy?
I am happy actually.
Okay, go ahead. Break it down. Let us know what it is.
I feel like being single and happy, like you have to be content with yourself. Like if you're not content with yourself, then more than likely you're not gonna be like happy.
Right.
And I feel like that takes a lot of time though. Like I feel like a lot of people like being single is like not like a cool thing. Like no one wants to be single. Like that's not like the way right now.
Especially once you reach a certain age. Go ahead, yeah. Because a lot of people, like I know when I was coming up when I was younger, like it was cool to be single. Like I wanted to be single. I didn't want to be tied down to no one person. And even as I got older, I still wanted to be single. You know what I mean? But nowadays, you got, especially for women, they get to a certain age and they start panicking. Thinking time is running out for true love. So could you kind of like speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've had my like panic moments or whatever like that, and I'm like, should I be married? Should I have kids? Like a lot of my friends are married, a lot of my friends are having kids now, and I'm like the one single chick in the group of friends that have relationships. But I don't know, like I feel like you have to be content with yourself for real.
Yeah.
How did you find that contentment? Like, what did you do?
Oh, it took years. It took years. I think this is like the longest I've been single. Like I've been single for like almost a good year. Usually I jump from like relationship to relationship, whatever like that. But this time like I can't. Like I don't want to be in a relationship. Like I want to be single. Like I desire to be single. What was the question?
Wait, y'all just y'all just loose up here.
To where you're good with being single. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like you say.
A lot of prayer.
Okay.
A lot of prayer.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? That's good.
A lot of prayer.
Man, I'm telling you.
And just like self-love and finding other relationships, like strong female relationships, and like having like real friends, like actual real friends to like talk to, support.
That's great. That's wonderful. What was and we're gonna get to the audience because they're already agreeing with you and chiming in and stuff. But I do want to ask, what was the longest relationship you've ever been in?
The longest was 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Wow. And now that's tough when you've been in a relationship for 4.5 years to stay single for another year. You know what I mean? So the last relationship you was in, was that the 4.5 years?
No, that was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. How long was the last relationship you was in?
The last relationship I was in was a good 2 years, 1.5 years. Right?
Yeah. So that's still, like I said, coming from that long-term relationship and then going this long without being with someone, you know what I mean? Like, that's the tough part. Because if you never really knew what it was like to be in a long-term relationship, audiences, then when you do become single, you know what I mean? That's a whole different struggle versus a person that has been in a relationship, because like they said earlier, a lot of times they get out of one relationship and jump back into the next relationship. Nika said the same thing. She don't really know. It's like y'all just loose over here.
No. I didn't know how to cope.
Even coming from out of one relationship into the next relationship, you never give yourself a chance to heal properly from that past relationship. And 9 times out of 10, some of the same tendencies and some of the same thought patterns and stuff shows up in the next relationship. So it's good, that you say you was in a 1.5 year relationship, and now you have been single for a year. So that plays a role, in my belief, into your next relationship. And I believe the longer that you are single after that past relationship, the better chance you have of the next relationship being at least totally different from the last one, if not even better. Let's take some of these comments from the audience and see what they're saying in here. I know for me, coming up loose, it was kind of empty, like having to be in a relationship, Soon as I got into the next. But for me though, it wasn't a thing where it was like, girlfriend and boyfriend type thing. It was a thing where, like, if I'm sleeping with one person and I find out they slept with somebody else because I wouldn't commit, then I would jump on to somebody else. And even though I did not want to commit, I still wanted to be the only one that person was being sexually involved with. You know what I mean? And that was selfish on my part, but at the end of the day, my motto was always this: there's 6 billion people in the world. Well, 7 billion now. 6 billion people in the world. There is one person in the world that would dance to my music out of the 6 billion. So that was my motto. It was selfish, but that's how I was when I was single. Go ahead.
I feel like the reason why I jumped from relationship to relationship was because I didn't have enough security in myself or whatever like that. So and also I'm a female, so guys are just always coming at you, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's you're basically a target. Yeah. So sometimes I felt whenever the person that I felt was going to dance to my music would come along like that, we would dance for a while, whatever like that, and then it would become a relationship. When I wasn't even trying to be in a relationship, it was we were cool, and then all of a sudden I'm your girlfriend, and I'm whoa, how'd this happen, whatever like that. I always feel I just become someone's girlfriend without even intentionally trying to do it. I kind of fall into this trap or this pit or whatever like that, and then I'm in a 3-year relationship. I'm
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because at least you never just was friends, and then all of a sudden I'm somebody's husband or wife. Because that's how we happened. We was this, we were like this, literally, forever. You know what I mean? And then when we, got into adulthood, me, so to speak, and I say adulthood because once I became 21, she and I was pretty much at each other from the time she was in 11th grade. You know what I mean? We was always friends. We never took it there. We never even thought in a million years we would. Mm-hmm. But like you said, one thing led to the next, and then before you know it, boom, we here and we married. We still can't believe it sometimes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that goes to show, a lot of times you don't know where relationships will end up. And like you said, and I'm glad you admitted it, because I tell all women this all the time, y'all are targets, you know what I mean? And when men see a woman, if he doesn't say something to her, a lot of times, I know for me it was intimidating for me to go say something to a woman, because in my head I'm saying to myself, what can I say to her that she's not going to think that I say this to every pretty woman that I see? You know what I mean? So, and then in terms, but at the same time, a woman may feel, well, I can't go and tell him how attractive I think he is, because then I'm gonna come off as, whatever, blah blah blah. But and like I said, that with being secure in yourself, going kind of into another area, a lot of things you said just now, a lot of women wouldn't admit. A lot of women wouldn't admit to needing somebody there and needing that security and needing that companionship and things like that or whatever. Which in turn, I believe that more women should be more outspoken about the things that they want. You know what I mean? So that a guy doesn't have to play a guessing game when he is trying to approach you. You know what I mean? So we got some.
Real quick, if you all can go and share share this page, please. Go to your share your page, tag your friends and stuff like that, because I know there's a lot of single people out there, or people that are not in committed relationships, and they may not be happy. And so we want to share different tools and different skill sets on what they can do to choose happiness while you're single, so that when you are in a committed relationship, you know how to give that relationship 100%.
Right,
you know?
right. And let me say this real quick. A lot of the live views right now, the viewers that's watching, a lot of people are reluctant to talk about being single.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people are reluctant to say whether they are happy or not. So some will probably wait until the show is over and then come back and look at it and see what's going on. And that's fine. I mean, it's cool. But you guys go and share, tag people name in it. You might know some single people, tag their name in it. You know, let them know we on and this is what we talking about.
So Lori says, I believe you can be single and happy. She said, I believe you can be single and happy. Coming out of a 10-year marriage, I wanted to find myself first. My self-love was super important in finding my whole true self. That's a mouthful, Lori. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. You want to...
But it's true, though. It's true. I didn't even know what self-love was until 3-4 years ago. And I feel like that's really, really important. Some people they just go by what they think the world wants them to do, whatever like that. You're supposed to be married by 25, have kids by 27, whatever the world is. But if you don't know yourself, I feel like there's people in their 40s and 50s that still don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I feel like you need to take the time to be by yourself.
Yeah.
To get to know who you are, to get to know what your likes, your dislikes, or whatever like that, so you can love yourself and so that you can love on someone else.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
These are real good points, guys. Hold on, my screen is kind of frozen. I want to make sure it's not frozen on y'all end. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you gotta be one with yourself first before you can try to be one with somebody else. If you don't know who you are, what you want, how you want it, where you want it, and all of this stuff like that or whatever, it's going to be hard for you to fully commit or for you to even take part in sharing a space with somebody else. One thing, I had the task of doing, and it's still, something that, we have to learn and do, especially men. Men, you're supposed to be the leaders of the relationship. And by that, I mean, women was our gift. So with your gift, you know what you want to use your gift for. For lack of better words, I say use, but you know what you need your gift to provide for you or what you need your gift to bring to the table. So at the end of the day, if you don't control the direction of the relationship, then chances are boredom would set in, and a lot of times we're looking for entertainment from our significant other, but we're not doing anything to entertain. That can become a problem. If you know what you want as a man, then you have to be willing to express that when you're looking for your lady, or when you're looking for whoever. You got to be willing to express that, and you got to be willing to say, hey, look, this is what I want. I know what I want. This is who I am. I know who I am, and can you provide this? And you got to match yourself up with somebody that is actually fun for them to provide the things that you say you're looking for in a relationship. Because if she feels like what you're looking for is not necessary, and I'm speaking up for most men, let's say for instance if a guy says, well, I need fried chicken every night in my relationship. Just using this as an example. I need fried chicken every night in my relationship. If you know that's not fun to you, then after the relationship goes on and you stop trying to draw him in, it's going to seem like it's more of an obligation or a burden versus a pleasure. You know what I mean? So I would say to all women out there and all men out there, match yourself up with somebody that it is fun to them to please you. Let them know what you want, and then match yourself up with them when they get a kick out of doing the things that please you. And likewise, women, match yourself up with a guy that gets a kick out of doing the things that please you. If your guy don't get a kick out of holding your hands and walking you down the street, if he starts off doing it 9 times out of 10, I know fellas gonna hate me, he only doing it because he's trying to get something. And we all know what that probably is. You know what I mean? And then once he gets that and he feels like he's achieved the highest plateau, then slowly but surely those walks holding hands is going to fade away because it was never fun to him to start with. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that, you know, and y'all can, you know, is that somewhat true, ladies, or
That's definitely true.
is that, you know, you think it's true? You think it's true? Elaborate on that for me a little bit. Anybody?
There's one thing that you said that struck a nerve. Like, okay, so basically, like, guys supposed to be the leaders, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, with me personally, like, I always want to be the leader. Like, I want to be in control. So I feel like that was a lot of my downfalls in my relationship because, like, I want to take control, and I never gave the chance for the guy to take control. So then, when I got older, I realized, okay, let me like sit back and like be submissive or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once I started doing that, I realized that like a lot of men don't know how, like they don't know how to take control, or they don't know how to lead. So I feel like a lot of men also need to learn the whole self-love thing, and like also need to like relearn or get taught or something.
I think that
on
goes
how
back
to you know, be a man.
Oh man, I think that goes back to our childhood as men, especially colored men, like in homes, you know, learning how to take leadership, learning from a younger age, like how women, like we grow up as little girls playing with Barbie dolls and knowing how to nurture and learning how to be that affectionate person and knowing what we want based on what we're learning as a child. But a lot of our men as boys don't learn that leadership role. And so, like you said, then you come up as being intimidating, or you push somebody off because you may be like forceful, or you know, well, you don't know how to do this. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, right.
I don't
That's
need you. I can do it
exactly
myself.
right.
You know, because
Right.
you can do it yourself. You
Right.
know,
Right.
and so I think if starting younger, we will just instill in our young men, you know, how to take leadership in a respectful way. Then we can change that mentality.
Well, I would say this, you know, first of all, you know, a relationship is definitely not for somebody who's not mature enough to at least express what they believe they want at that particular time. And I believe that, you know, and notice I said as men, you know what I mean? Because even though we've all been in our little teenage relationships and stuff, and probably had our first heartbreak at a teenage years and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, but it's still a thing where in my mind, it's kind of like almost impossible for a child or for a teenager to really experience the full effect of a mature relationship as far as talking about, you know, dating someone. You know what I mean? And I didn't know as a child then that you need to kind of prepare yourself for the type of person that you want to be with as an adult. You know what I mean? Because you are learning how to become a man, and you are learning yourself and what you want. You know, younger, you probably thought you just wanted a girl that had a nice body, a nice shape, you know, pretty smile, did everything you asked her to do, you know, whatever the case may be. Not realizing I'm looking for somebody that's going to be a good mother. I'm looking for somebody that's going to be a partner. I'm looking for somebody that's, if I need her to, she can fulfill all roles that I can, you know what I mean? I'm looking for an extension of myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, when you know who you are, then you know how to go search for an extension of yourself. But the only way you can search for an extension of yourself is what we said now. You have to be single and happy. You have to be happy with yourself enough to be secure to allow somebody else to fulfill a role that society says a man is supposed to fulfill, or a woman is supposed to fulfill, so to speak. But and when you become a man and you realize your role as a leader, then you can say, you know what, and a lot of people say it, but a lot of people don't really pursue it or live it. I'm going to find me a woman, and I'm going to make her the happiest woman in the world. That's leading, you know what I mean? Like, when you can find somebody like my wife, I say, you know, I'm going to make her one of the happiest women in the world, you know, and I strive every day to do that, you know what I mean? And it's definitely a journey, guys, because sometimes women don't know what in the world they want. So it's hard for you to really make them happy because they change what they want almost every 5 seconds. However, men, if we know who we are and we know who we chose, then we are up for the task. It's fun to me to figure out ways to make her fall in love with me over and over and over again. So it's like I'm always chasing her, I'm always dating her, and I'm always, you know, make up the breakup, and break up the makeup, and, you know, and all of that. But you know how that makeup stuff go. So.
Hey, that's true. That's true, though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gonna front because like there are times like I don't know what I want, and I feel like there's a lot of women that like don't want to admit to that. But like I don't know what I want sometimes. So I think if we're all just more honest with ourselves, then that will like help the world go around.
Yeah.
I want to say this real quick. Latanya says, "I'm single and afraid to enter into a relationship. I'm waiting on God."
Me too, honey.
Now, listen. Y'all can wait on God all y'all want, but I'm gonna tell you right now, He is not getting involved with who you choose. He will present people before you. He will present people before you, and if you if you be led by the Spirit of God inside of you, then you can size up who is who and what is what. But oftentimes, through my experience and through talks with a lot of people that still are currently in successful relationships and marriages, Scripture says, "Behold, I set before you good and evil, heaven and hell. Choose ye this day what you want." You know what I mean? So He's going to set before you things. You have to choose. You know what I mean? I don't believe there's no one set person. When people be like, "Oh, I found my soulmate," I believe that there are multiple people here that you can make a soul tie connection with. And you just have to find a way to connect with that person on a soulish level, in order for it to happen. When God created woman, He didn't tell Adam that this is your wife, or He didn't tell Adam that this is flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone, or none of that. It says that He made the woman from Adam, and then He presented her to Adam. Adam was the one who chose her. So a lot of times, women, when you get things presented in front of you, it's up to you to choose. Likewise, men. Don't wait on a man to choose you. Sometimes you got to go choose that man. Because I would be the first to say, too, I knew that me and my wife was going to be together when we got together. However, it was as if she chose it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a thing where everything I am today, and this is why I say she chose it. Everything I am today is because of her. I'm telling you, I would not be the man that I am today had it not been for this woman sitting right beside me. And the reason why I say that is because I was going in a totally different direction with my life. And the things that she has pulled out of me, or I would even say awakened in me, helped me realize that I was somebody different from who I even thought I was. You know what I mean? And she took the core pieces of who I was and built, something else. So in terms of doing that, I was able to say, you know what? This is flesh of my flesh. You know what I mean? This is bone of my bone, because she was able to take what was me and make a greater me. You know what I mean? And women, that's how you got to look when you choosing your mate. You got to look and you got to say, do he have the core qualities and the core potential for me to take what is him and add me to it and make a greater him? You have to see yourself in that person. You have to see your destiny and what you want to do in life, and your dreams and aspirations has to be inside of the man that you're going to choose. I don't know if that's making sense to you, Tanya, but and that's how I believe God sets us up. He allows us to come in contact with somebody, especially women, come in contact with a man, and you look at that man and you say, you know what? I would devote my life into helping him become a better him. And if that's what you want to do, then that's who you choose. That's who you choose. And I guarantee you, if you start doing that, even if y'all don't even got to be in a relationship, if somehow you are able to establish some type of connection with this man, and you naturally just start making him a better person, he's going to choose you. He's going to definitely choose you. And I'm going to let y'all talk after this, but I want to say this. This is why a lot of guys cheat. A lot of married men cheat with secretaries, with their secretaries or their assistants and stuff like that. Because that secretary and that assistant, unknowingly, just doing their job, is making that man a better version of him. So, you see what I'm saying? It's making him be able to move more easily, move more freely, and while y'all thinking that when men really evolve into who he's going to be, y'all thinking it's the hips, y'all thinking it's the lips and all of this stuff, the high heels, all this, that, and the third. That's fine. That's well and good. That might get a man's attention. That might get my attention, but it won't keep me. You have to make me better. You have to make my job as a man easier. You have to, allow, and that's why I say, a lot of men often end up cheating with secretaries, things like that, because naturally she's there just doing her job, helping him, making him easy, and that attraction comes. So yeah, y'all can speak on.
I just want to say real quick, if y'all can go in, the new viewers that just came in and share this video. I know Marsha came in, Pastor
Hey
Johnson.
Marsha, what's
Hey
up, Pastor?
Shakan came in. Hey Shakan.
Hey, Shakan.
Shakan is single as well. I wish we could have had her come in on the show and give her story or her point of view on being single and happy.
If anybody want to come, excuse me, anybody want to come in and talk, we want us to add us to the live where you can talk to the people and share your experience of being single, feel free. Just hit us in the comments and be like, I want to share, and I'll go ahead and I'll add y'all in. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Lori said, don't fake it until you make it. And like I think you said, if you go into a relationship holding hands in the beginning, because you have a certain motive or whatever, don't do that because you're misleading the person,
Right.
that you're in a relationship with. Yeah, and Lori also says she's waiting on God also requires action. God presents people.
I just said that.
Satan also presents people if you have to choose.
I just said that, yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Lori, we be here now. We be here, Lori. We be here.
Yeah.
Y'all, last show, Lori said she was going to bust me in the head with a brick. But that's her first cousin. And, things are always gravy in the Navy. But, you got it. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that a lot of females that are single or men too, I think that we're always like praying for our husband or praying for like our wife or whatever like that. But there's something that I learned from this girl. She told me that to stop praying for it, but to pray to be prepared to be a wife.
Right.
So like my
That's
new
good.
prayer is to be prepared to be a wife.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. Like
Yeah.
I respect wives because I feel like y'all go through a lot, and sometimes I feel like I ain't got time.
Right.
So like I need to pray for preparation.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can't go into it like without.
Right.
It's definitely work. It's definitely work. I tell people all the time, it takes a special anointing to be my wife. It really does, because I'll admit, I'm a handful. I am a work of art. Ain't but one me. But guess what? Whoever got me will be happy. Ain't that right?
That's right. All day. That's right.
She don't want to say it.
That's right. That is absolutely right. So like I said before, being single wasn't really my thing. I always felt like even from a child, always wanted to be a wife. I've always aspired to be a wife and a mother, and so my relationships were always committed relationships, and I don't think I've ever taken like a time period, like a 3 or 4 year gap to say, let me see what I want by myself, and so I don't know if that's because, maybe some of my childhood things, like, growing up without a father, stuff like that, because some of that stuff has an effect on how you choose men, how you decide to be in relationships, why you choose to stay in a relationship or not, you know what I mean? And so I'm not sure how all of that played into it, but I think it still boils down to, if you're by yourself, just be yourself and know, what you want out of life, and then you can in turn give your whole self, because you don't want to get married and then you're still trying to find yourself while you're being married, because that pulls away from the relationship.
Yes. And you don't want to be married to a woman who's still trying to find themselves after you already know who you see her as, and especially you know who you are. I said that because I'm speaking from experience. Y'all, please share this video. I'm about to drop some jewels real quick. Me and my wife was like this before we got married, so I knew everything that she was dealing with. I knew what happened to her in her childhood. I knew, what happened to her even as a teenager. I knew the reason why she felt like she had to be in a relationship. I knew some of the people that really wasn't meaning her no good. I knew all of these things. However, I also knew that she wanted to marry me. She wanted us to get married. And I said, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know I want to marry her. I know that. I just don't want to do it right now. And it wasn't for me. It was because I knew that she needed some time to stay single so that she can work out whatever issues that she had within herself and from previous relationships, so that she and I can come together and things would at least have a fair shot. you know. And I presented that to her. I told her that, and she was like, "No, you're just trying to back out," because at this point I had already asked her to marry me. And you're just trying to back. And I said, "No, baby." I said, "I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I already know that. You know what I mean? I knew that." In my eyes, this is how I saw it. I had one last chance to have true love and one last chance to have happily ever after with somebody. And I wanted to spend it. And I said that she was the person I wanted to spend it on. And I still mean that to this day. Like, if, God forbid, something happened and we didn't work out, I am never getting married again. Y'all can call me whatever y'all want to call me. All y'all preachers can look at me funny because I'm never getting married and I'm coming to y'all church and I don't never have no first lady on my side. This is it right here. I'm not marrying nobody else. So, you know, I wanted to have a fair shot out the gate. You know what I mean? And, so, you know, she felt like I was trying to have cold feet or whatever the case may be. So I married her, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if she's just jumping into this with me because she just got out of what happened here? And what if I'm just another one of those numbers like that again, and she's probably going to leave me alone, you know, if I'm the sign of turbulence, you know, and then be on to the next or whatever the case may be. But that was a risk I was willing to take. And not only that, I was able to, and I was patient with knowing that it was a lot of stuff she wasn't prepared for. It was a lot of stuff she was not prepared for. Like, she wasn't prepared to have to tell somebody what time she's coming back home. She wasn't prepared to not be able to stay out the house and overnight and not be like, "Hey, honey, I'm not coming home tonight." You know what I mean? She wasn't prepared for none of that. She wasn't prepared for an argument. You know what I mean? She wasn't prepared for me to say, I'm a man and I can do what I want. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't prepared for these things like that or whatever. So at the first sign of it, she did what anybody else who wasn't prepared for something did. She left. She left, and she went and she stayed. I'm putting her cousin on blast. She went and she stayed at Toya house. She went to Toya house.
They don't know the story. They don't know the story.
They don't know. They don't know why you was there. She went and she stayed at her cousin Toya house. Toya, if you watching, she was at your house, girl. If she ever show up at your house again, call me. So, anyways, long story short, she went to her cousin's house and she spent the night at her cousin's house. Now, back then, this was my motto. You only get one time to leave me. I don't care how much in love with you I am. If you ever leave me, I'm just going to have to deal with it. That heartbreak, you only get one time to leave me. So she left. So I did what anybody else who's trying to stick to his word does. She left. I called my moms because I didn't have like everything that I would get or try to get with me and my mother need for obvious reasons. And I told her to rent a U-Haul for me because you need a credit card to rent the U-Haul. I was getting ready to take my furniture out the apartment. I was getting ready to cut off all the lights, get the lights cut off, like pretty much just move out, you know what I mean? In the lease, I was getting ready to do all that, and she was going to come back to nothing. That was my plan. But this, just like you said with being single, I was single before me and her. So I knew how to surround myself with people that made me be a better me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And my mom, she just automatically picked up on it and knew something wasn't right. I didn't tell her what I wanted it for. I just said, "Mom, I need your card. I need to rent a U-Haul." Wow. And she was like, "Where Nika at?" And I was like, I forgot how I answered her. But long story short, my mother ended up talking to Nika, ended up talking to me, and then Nika ended up coming back. And to be honest, we never went through anything nowhere near as close as that. And that was like I don't even think it was 6 months after I was married. I think it was right around 6 months, maybe, not that long. And we never went through anything of that sort. But like I said again, fellas, that goes to when you are secure within yourself, then you can choose properly, and then you can size up what you believe you're going to have to go through, because you're never going to be ready for everything. You can size up what you believe you have to go through to get to the next level and to break through and to allow that woman to become one with you and be willing to take it. Like, there is nothing on God's green earth that I wouldn't forgive my wife for, and that including trying to kill me. I wouldn't stay with her after that, but I would forgive her for it, because like I said, there's nothing I wouldn't forgive her for, because she is me. A lot of people be like, "Oh, that's my better half." No, this is me. This is me. This is me. So at the end of the day, those of you who be trying to come at me and I don't say nothing to y'all, that's fine, because that ain't really me. But if you mess with this right here, This is me right here. You mess with this right here, you got a problem on your hands. Do you understand? But I digress from what I was saying. Go ahead, y'all can talk. I'm talking too much.
You see all, like the whole U-Haul situation y'all had? See, I've had like crazy dramatic stories like that with a boy.
Hold on, let me make sure it come back. Excuse us, guys. Somebody was calling. My nephew Ray Ray was calling me right now. He never called me ever.
Ray always
now all right, we back live. Yeah,
Okay.
My nephew Ray Ray called me just now. He don't never call. Well, he don't never call me during the week, especially not on no Monday. So I got to see what's going on with that. And he would call right at this time. But anyways, let me see who else on here. Okay. What's up, Mr. Richard?
Hey, Richard.
Richard, I don't mean to get in your business, but I want to say I believe you're single. I want to say I believe that. If I'm wrong, then please correct me. If I'm right, then share with us, how's the single life? Because I know you live in a big city, and a lot of times where you live at, too, can make it harder or easier, to be single. But anyways, it is what it is. I will share this with y'all real quick. When I first gave my life to Christ, right? Well, not when I first gave my life to Christ, because I first gave my life to Christ when I was 12 years old. And then as an adult, I gave my life to Christ. And I called myself practicing celibacy for almost a year. Over a year. And it was in that time that I really learned a lot about myself. And even in doing that, I still didn't know everything that I needed to know and to choose the right woman for me. So, that goes to say this, that you can never spend too much time trying to find out who you are. You can never spend too much time. And when you're trying to connect with somebody else, to share a space with somebody else or become one with somebody else, give yourself enough time, man. Give yourself enough time. We got Richard in here. Go ahead. What do you want to say? Go ahead.
Barbara, I want you to finish your story. You were saying about
Oh, my bad.
You good. So basically, like, the whole thing is called Single and Happy. So basically, like, the whole drama that, like, the situations that come in marriages or relationships, like, it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. So me being single, like, I realize, like, the benefits that I have. Like, I don't have to, like, answer to anybody, and, like, I can do my own thing, and, like, I can pick up when I want to, when I can, like, travel when I want to. When you're in a relationship, like, you have to, coordinate things like that. You know what I'm saying? Also, I don't have kids, so, like, that's a whole other thing. So, like, I feel really good being single, because, like, I feel, like, a sense of freedom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it feels good, like. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people who are like, oh, I want a relationship, like, yeah, like, it's nice, like, I do want a relationship, I do eventually want to be in a relationship, but, like, right now, like, I'm cool off of it, because, like,
no strings attached,
no U-Hauls, no call my mom, like, no.
But it all depends on who you get in one with, because for me personally, I never went into a relationship where I felt like it would be bondage or whatever the case may be, and I don't try to put that on nobody. Like, even for my wife, like, she can go and come and do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, however she wants. Because, like I said, I know who I am. You know what I mean? I know who she is. So it is what it is. It's like certain things, like, if you say, hey, I'll be back home at 9 o'clock, and you don't get back home until 1 a.m. in the morning or whatever. Like, that's just a courtesy call, for security reasons, you know what I mean? But you got to know, because I've seen a lot of people in a lot of relationships where they can't go nowhere unless their spouse with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, like, they can't answer. If their phone ring past a certain hour at night, the husband or the wife want to see it, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's bond. That's not fun, you know what I mean? That's no way to live. Let me read what Brother Richard is saying. I think he answered. Let me see if I was right.
Yes, agree.
What he said, what's a great thing to be single? What? I know that's a typo. A bachelor in New York. It's a great thing to be single. A bachelor in New York. This is the time of my life that I'm actually learning who I am, and I won't take the journey back for anything else. For a long time, I was looking for a relationship to sugarcoat, I guess, who I was just in my life. Hold up, let me. It's teaching me how to love someone else by loving me first. Good stuff, Richard. Single bachelor. Yeah, he's a single bachelor in New York. Oh, man. I know you having fun, brother. I know you living it up, Richard. But nah, yeah, man, like New York City, single in New York, and like that's something, man. That's when I went on my whole little journey of I was in New York when I actually spent the whole year, and I ain't touched no woman, look at no woman, none of that. No, I did look at some. I looked at some. I ain't touched nothing though. And you know, and I learned a lot about myself. Like I really learned that I did not have to be with a woman if I didn't want to. Like I learned that if I really wanted to, I could have been committed a while ago. You know what I mean? Because like you know how a lot of men, they use women as trophies.
Yeah.
You know, like they want to see how many they can knock down or whatever. I was never that guy, so I thought that I was only not that guy because of my I didn't have any transportation, I didn't have no car, I couldn't get around to these different women and stuff like that. But you know, once I got older and actually, you know, you taking public transportation everywhere, you seeing beautiful women every day. You know what I mean? It's so easy. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, okay, well, maybe I'm not this guy who I thought I was or whatever. And then I start realizing, you know what, maybe I can be with just one person. You know what I mean? So, yeah, as long as you, not saying you have to, if you want to be with somebody, not saying you have to force yourself to embrace being alone, but don't despise it either.
Yeah.
Don't despise it. Any of our viewers got any more comments, anything like that? I told her if she wanted to come in too. Yeah. Anybody want to come in? We got 10 minutes left on the show. Anybody want to come in and say something? I feel some kind of way about these 12 live views and 9 views. Hey, see, I started not to tell the topic. Ooh.
Okay.
I think I see a couple of first-time viewers. Thank you guys. What's
Hey,
up, Darius? If you're still watching, I'm going through these comments, y'all. See what's really good. Miss Florence, how you doing? I know
Hey,
she probably
Florence.
still here. My mother here. What's up, Mom? Dupes. Let's talk. My mother ain't gonna talk back to us though. But anyways, me and my mother was having a conversation in the car today. She talking about cause y'all remember last show was my kids don't like them, should we still get married? You know what I mean? So my mother was like, I could get a boyfriend if I want to. Then she's like, but I just don't want to. I said, and guess what? You better never not want to neither, because I don't care who you bring around, I'm not going to like him. Period.
Oh, she tried, Lori. She tried to come in. You have to invite her.
Oh, my bad. Let me try to get Lori on here real quick.
Okay, yes, Lori, because I mean, for you, you know, I think you have a very good story that can enlighten a lot of people that would maybe have been once married, you know, and now you have to figure out how to be single and happy, and also recover from, you know, a marriage that you were once in. So David's gonna try to see if he can get you to join in now, if you can.
I told her, put in the comment. Tell Lori they won't let me add her for some reason.
She can hear you.
Yeah, it won't let me add her. Tell her, Lori, send a request asking us to add you, because I see add by everybody's name except
her?
yours. Yeah.
She probably already did it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Let me see.
So you probably gotta accept it.
Don't worry, guys. One day we're gonna be in studio somewhere, and this is not gonna be an issue. But right now, it's not letting me do it.
Can you try it again, Lori? Can you try to join again? She probably did already.
So what made you guys, a married couple, want to have a show on like Single and Happy?
Good question.
Cause I'm about to be single if she keep acting up.
You want
Nah, let me start. Since you asked.
Because even though we're a married couple, we want to be able to hit all angles of, relationships and as a people. And we have a lot of friends and associates that are single, and like we hear a lot of inquiries from them a lot, and sometimes it's better to hear the answers from a person that's in the same situation. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, if I talk to a single person about a relationship, okay, well, yeah, but you have a husband you go home to every night. So who, you know what I mean? Right. So I think just having a collective conversation about being single and happy, we can reach more people and, and just talk about different aspects of relationships.
Well, that's her reason. My reason is because if she keep acting up, I'm going to know this way. Listen, just what she said, I couldn't have said it no better. We got a lot of people that, they say, and I know they even think, because I used to think this as well. When I used to get counseling from people, about relationships or whatever. Even my brothers or my friends, because they was always like coming up when I was younger. Like everybody had girlfriends except for me, and this is something we didn't get into, but I want to. But and I'm like, you can say whatever you want to say. Like you going to your girlfriend's house later. You know what I mean? I gotta go find somebody. You know what I mean? When we used to make our little videos back in the day, we used to make videos to like talk to our girlfriends or whatever and have like Babyface playing in the background, put on my dad robe or whatever and walk around the house like we was Billy D. Williams and whatnot and make little videos and stuff. Shout out to everybody who saw those videos. I was talking about we was like 12? Sometimes I think we made one as early as like 9 years old and stuff. And I was always that guy going even up to age 16. I was like, dang, I'm talking about a different girl on every video. You know what I mean? And it was just ridiculous. So, but like she said, we gotta have a well-rounded show to where everybody could relate to the topics. So that's why we asked you to come in so you can speak on it. We got other people that's out there that we're trying to add in so they could speak on it, and that's what we do in all of our topics. Like we did a topic before called we did a topic on homosexuality. Neither one of us is gay, but we have gay friends. So we were able to, address issues that they have and that some concerns that they have. And we have people come in and actually share face to face like how we was trying to do just now. This is what I wanted to say for all you single people out here, and I'll let you go with it first. Like for holidays like Valentine's Day and Christmas and your birthdays, and how everybody out on their dates and my boo bought me this, like, does that affect you in any kind of way?
Not Valentine's Day. I feel like Valentine's Day is so fake. But
thank you.
But you're welcome. But sometimes like my birthday, like sometimes I do feel like weird. Like I don't think I've ever, like for the past few years, I don't think I've ever been like without someone like near my birthday. My birthday's like super important to me, so I feel like I don't know, I just need like a guy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I need somebody to give me flowers. But sometimes like it depends on where I'm at.
Fellas? She's single. All right. Hey, y'all know the type of men that should not be in my inbox. But she's single, so if you want to get in touch with her, I'll let you know.
Anyway. But no, like it depends on what I'm going through, like in life, whatever, like that, where it will affect me.
Yeah. That's what's up. I know. Go ahead. I
have a question. I wanted to know from you, Barbara, and also from the single women in the audience. How do you respond when a married man comes, tries to, or says he's attracted to you? Or, how do you deal with that? Because there's a lot of married men that go after single women, because they're not in a committed relationship. So they can devote more time to this man, Is that like a... And I mean, people say this for face value. Yes, I would never do that. But if we can get some people to be transparent, have you ever considered it? Have you ever thought about it? I mean, dang. Do you get approached by married men a lot? Things like that. And how does that make you feel?
Actually, okay. That's a good question. Yeah. But me personally, I don't think, unless they was lying, I don't think I've ever been approached by a married man. Okay. So that's like a whole different ballgame. Yeah. But I have dated a man that was married in his past. And one time he had like called me his ex-wife's name, and like it flipped.
Really?
Yeah, wow. And like that was the reason why we broke up. I was like, because I just felt like because he had a whole wife and a whole life before me, and I was like, how could he ever like get over a wife or his children? You know what I'm saying? So like it freaked me out. But I don't really get approached by married men.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about the guy when he called you whatever. Like, how, like, was it like y'all was arguing and he called you her?
No, he left me like a voicemail.
Oh, and you
And he said her name and not my name.
Ooh,
And
so
I-
he couldn't lie out of
Yeah, yeah. It was
Wow.
bad. It was bad. But I feel like now that I look over, maybe I overreacted. I probably did overreact. You probably could have been my husband. But it's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, now he's remarried again and like has children on the way and stuff like that. So clearly it wasn't meant to be. But I mean, I did overreact. But at the same time, like it was just like
Awkward.
it was very awkward.
So, because that's really funny to me. You never thought that, well, maybe, well, I don't know why they had a divorce. If it was so great, they wouldn't get divorced. But sometimes, you know, it could be a good thing that you remind them of a place that love once lived, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just like kind of like associated and just muscle memory, I guess, blurted it out. But
I realized that after the fact,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
just it was too much.
I know, I get it. I don't know how I would react if I was called an ex or something like that. Let me read. Marsha says, when I was single, I enjoyed being single. There were some lonely days, but that was a time to learn who I was. And when I was in a relationship, I enjoyed being in my relationship. I was still trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted, needed. And being married, I enjoy being married. I especially enjoy being married with someone who don't or didn't have to change, who I didn't have to change for, and who loved me the way I deserve, and vice versa. Marriage can be blissful when you both are on the same level in your balance. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's good. And she broke it down. She said, single, I loved it. Relationship, I enjoyed it. Married, I'm enjoying it right now. So shout out to Marsha. Congratulations, guys, again. Those are newlyweds still. And we are so happy for you that you found that happiness. Who else? Lori, we're going to have to hook this up another day because they wouldn't let me put you in. What am I missing? That's it, right? So we coming to that 8 o'clock hour. Y'all going to share this, please. We want to get it out there or whatever. I guess whoever's going to watch is going to watch. When you start talking about single, people get a little bit intimidated because sometimes people don't want people to know they're single too. Because a lot of people be on here fronting for the book, like they really with somebody. Yeah, like they really with somebody that's so happy and all that. And then, you know, you look at the dude, he got 3 or 4 different pages under different names and a different girlfriend on each page. So, yeah, but we want to thank Barbara for coming in with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
She's a friend of the show. She's also a friend of Mind, Body, and Soul. Don't forget about that, guys. Every Thursday night. What's the address again?
4679.
4679 Lee Road, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Y'all come on out. What we got going on? Y'all be on the lookout for our block party, Create Miracles block party, September 1st. September 1st at Walsall Park in the big city of Somerton, South Carolina. It is going down from 12 to 6. From 12 to 6, it might even spill over. Y'all know how we do it. It always goes past time, but we have the actual park from 12 to 6. After that, it's open to the public. Everybody coming through. July 29th, our prophetic worship service with Pastor Prophetess Eartha Carter of Prayer House Mission Church. I'm telling y'all, I got a very, very good feeling, and my spirit is kind of overwhelmed for what's going to take place on that night. I encourage everybody to come out. I promise you, you will not regret it. Those of you that's in the Somerton, Columbia, Manning, something surrounding areas, I'm sure y'all know Pastor Carter. Y'all know that she's a dynamic woman of God. God definitely uses her and speaks to her and through her prophetically. And yeah, you don't want to miss it. The house is gonna be packed with a lot of people under the prophetic anointing. So you never know who might walk up to you and say something to you that God is relaying. I'm really believing that there are going to be some specific things that you're asking God for that He is going to speak into your life on that night. Things nobody else knows. Things that only you share with God. This is the type of anointing that's going to be in the building on that night. You guys, please come out. And also this Sunday and every Sunday, meet us at the temple on 2 Street, Somerton, South Carolina, where we have our Sunday school taught by yours truly at 10:30 every morning. I'm telling y'all, we have a good time in Sunday school. Don't miss it. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Come on out. And then you never know who's going to be ministering the word at the temple, because we have a house full of power-packed, dynamic preachers and teachers and prophetess and speakers. However, our pastor is the great Raymond Johnson Jr., and I am his assistant pastor, the one and only Elder King David Michael, the giant killer. So yeah, man, y'all come out. Let me see what else I'm missing. If I'm in my Thursdays, guys. Thursdays, once again, if you are trying to go with us to Mind, Body, and Soul, Thursdays, Lori, I'm gonna be looking for you. Thursdays, we will be there on Lee Road. What's the address again?
4679 Lee Road, Fort Jackson. If you want to meet us at the Walmart on Garden Ferry, meet us there at 5:15 if you can. If you're going to be a little late, let me know. We have to be in the gate at least about 5:50. So if you need arrangements, just contact me prior to Thursday.
Okay. You got any more announcements you want to You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyways, we're going to let y'all go. Let's pray. Let's pray and go. Let's close out. You want to pray us out, Miss Barbara?
No, I'm good. You got this. You guys got this. I'm just a guest.
Go ahead, Dee.
God, we thank you for another successful show on tonight. God, we pray that things that we've said on tonight, that someone's lives may be changed, God, that someone will find their true meaning, God, of life, true purpose in their life, and be content with being single and happy. And God, we pray that everyone that's listening on tonight, they'll be able to share something that they learned on tonight with someone else. In Jesus' name, we pray that everyone will be able to have a great week, a blessed week until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Good night, guys. Please
Bye.
share this video. See y'all next Monday.